the Fiscal Committee and the county's departments. There is no public comment at these hearings. The public hearing on the 2013 Union County budget is scheduled for April 4, 2013 at 6:30 p.m. Tonight we will hear from the following departments who will make presentations to the committee: the Office of the Prosecutor, the Office of the County Clerk, the Department of Corrections, Reynolds Specialized Hospital, and the Department of Human Services. All right, and we are very pleased to have Prosecutor Romenko and First Assistant Sonatas here. So,
we're still looking for qualified people. In the course of next year, we are requesting our budget to be increased to $19,575,670. That's an increase of in overall budget. In salary, it's an increase of $454,000. We're requesting a total increase of $480,329, which represents a $10,000 increase in overtime and a $16,250 increase in other expenses. To discuss maybe at a finance, there is a group of people in my office who have not received a raise in 5 years. And one of them happened to be a lady who brought in $2 million in grant money. That's another thing we do. $2 million. I'm asking you, I'm imploring you, please look at that closely.
That's one of the bargaining.
It's one of the bargaining.
But that they're in negotiation. We're in negotiation.
I'm hoping that that will resolve itself soon, because I feel terrible that these people cannot, after 5 years, not have a raise and not have any medical coverage. So, with that, that's my report. I can give you the exact figures, but yeah, I'm below it. I'm easily below 5 from last year, plus 5 more that have retired during the course of the year. I'm down 10 people right now, and I'm interviewing the detectives. They're my primary focus at this point in time.
So we're down that many people, but we're still, in terms of the expenses for next year, it's going to be even higher.
Sure, it would be higher if I were to receive this budget. Yeah, that's where I'm going to use the $400,000 plus for salaries if I receive it.
Sure, yeah.
If I can just offer some clarity to the members of the board. Last year during the budget cycle, in order to help avoid further layoffs, the prosecutor's office was willing to not fund several of its vacancies in the budget. So they held a whole host of vacancies to the tune of approximately $940,000 open for 2012. So the budget last year it reflects a reduction of the $940. Some of those positions are now funded in the 2013 budget, so that's why it shows a $500,000 increase. But even that $500,000 reflects the Office of the Prosecutor's willingness to hold another $500,000 open for the 2013 budget year.
Well, based on the information you provided, and that's not visible there, so that's why I'm questioning that. Because I expect it to be in the decline, as we've asked everyone to tighten up their balance and to look for ways to reduce our overall expenditures so that we can keep some control over our taxes. So I thank you for the clarification. Hopefully in the future ones of this presentation, we'll have some ideas in terms of we need to state 2012 numbers, because there has been the same types of actions in other places. We will really appreciate it. Okay.
I'll leave that up to the treasurer's office. The exact figures. I agree.
Real? Anyone? So, Ted, just an update. So the increase in 454 is to fund increased salaries and some of the positions that were not.
That they held open in
It's only to
2012.
fill.
It's only to
Not to increase.
No,
you're negotiating.
No, it is
Not
to
mine.
fill positions that were not filled last
Yes.
year, and that accounts for the 400.
Yes,
does.
to fund it. The positions were held on the books, but we did not fund them with the consent of the prosecutor.
How many positions?
Seven.
Seven. And those are where
They were,
detectives or
APs and detectives, senior officers within the
yeah, they
department.
were high salary vacancies.
Not to open up a bowl of wax, but I'm going to explain something. There's been this concern about VSIG, and I think you were alluding to that.
Not specifically, but
Yeah, I think you were, and I'll point out what we've done to hold on to the attorneys. And I can give you, right now, I can give you 15 reasons why. I'm not going to go spend your time on it, but reasons why The assistant prosecutors' salary should be increased, not the least of which is they're the most highly skilled in the state. They're the only ones in the state in my office that has the highest number of certified criminal trial attorneys, which is a long process. But the bottom line is, when an assistant prosecutor, let's say, retires or resigns for whatever reason at $100,000, and the starting salary is $52,000, we have historically been granted the $48,000 breakage, which we call usage, and it's been spread out to the assistant prosecutors to bring up their salaries so that we can keep them, because the training process in this takes 4 to 5 years before they can get into the major cases, homicide, violent people, and you can't do that by paying an attorney $52,000 to 65 or 70. You can't do it. It doesn't work. They're the most highly professional, next to your medical examiner and maybe the lab director, the most highly professional in this county, and they're receiving lower wages than the detectives that work for them, which is to me not correct. Their responsibilities are immense. So we try to do that, and the board, through the county manager, has accepted this, to do this, and we continue to do it. If I didn't, we'd have people leaving, incredible numbers. I mean, I know it. They're devoted. These people are highly committed to what they do, but committed doesn't buy them bread and coffee and food and pay their rent. So we're trying to do the best we can without asking for more money. We're using what has been within the pot and just spreading it out. So you'll see that usage doesn't ask for more money. We're just spreading it out amongst the other assistant prosecutors.
But I was to say
I
that.
was gonna have a follow-up.
No, go ahead. No, you go first.
No, because the issue is, I bring up visage because I know how it works. First of all, let me be very clear about the fact is of your staff that I know for a fact of their quality, their commitment to Union County, and their commitment to the residents of this county. I'm just thinking from the point of view that we are plus 454. Visage, now that you brought it up, has I see it as a negative effect in terms long term, because that year, yes, you have satisfied that individual for that amount, but the following year, we absorbed that difference that was utilized.
It's the same. It's just the salary from someone moved to another person.
But everybody got increases the following year, because traditionally, when their contracts are there.
If the person who was there, who was receiving $100,000, received an increase, there's no difference in that than taking that money and shifting it to someone else who will receive that similar increase, which only totals the difference, which is $48,000. There is no increase. It's the same. There is no increase.
The only point I was going to make in terms of the APs is they are unionized.
Yeah.
And but I'm saying their salaries are based on their bargaining. And
They have no bargaining position, with all due respect. They have no arbitration. They can't go binding
No, I
arbitration,
understand,
so
but
they're
all
subject.
I'm saying is they're a unionized group that bargains with the county.
They are.
And reach agreement on those salaries based on the collective bargaining process. That's all I'm saying. I know you're a strong advocate for them, and I'm not saying, I'm just saying, at the end of the day, they make a decision in terms of an agreement, like every other union, and that's how they're selling.
No, there's a difference. The big difference is they have no choice. Eventually, they have no choice, because they have no way to bind the county as the detectives do, as the clericals do, as every other employee who's unionized. They have no authority. I can fire them, they're at will. Not that I would fire them because of that, but the bottom line is they have no bargaining power. They have good faith, and that's what it is. So I understand what you're saying. Yeah, it is a unionized system, but it doesn't quite work the same for them.
Anyone else have any questions?